Today I have 3 incredible puzzles on my table. Each of them is bright, interesting and incredibly difficult. And they have a common idea. When you look at these puzzles, it's not even clear whether it's easy to solve them or impossible. When I let my friends solve these puzzles, some people solve them in a few seconds, and some people cannot solve them for months. So, today we'll try to solve them. Special among them is calendar. This puzzle is 365 in 1. This calendar consists of such frame where we have printed months and dates. And we also have a lot of different details. Also, we can put this calendar on a stand for convenience. Well, the task is to mark today's date and month with these squares. And after that, fill the space with all other elements so there is no free space left and absolutely all the details fit. As you can see, this is a very difficult and incredibly interesting puzzle. And this is a puzzle criminal. In a childish, bright and seemingly easy puzzle, we have a task to put the criminal behind the bus. Is it easy to do? We'll see, but for now, let's start with the animal puzzle. It consists of an ordinary frame of such white color and 7 animals. This one is pink elephant. Also we have a gray monkey, blue hippo, lion, crocodile and giraffe. And all these animals need to be placed in the frame with the inscription CUBASTIC 3D. Yes, I created this puzzle myself. I saw the idea on the internet and created this 3D model. As you can see, several animals fit in here easily, but there is always not enough space for only one. Let's try to solve it. I think we need to start with the biggest one, that being an elephant. And if you look at the corners of this puzzle and at the shape of an elephant, it can be in several positions. Namely, this rectangle in one of the frame's corners or this line in one of the frame's corners, although this is only an obvious position. Maybe it can be somewhere in the middle of the frame or even diagonally. This detail is also special because it is very long. Looks like it should be in a vertical position and it is unlikely to be placed anywhere in the center, especially if together with elephant. We also have a lion with a rather strange shape. I think the most elementary and simplest option is to combine them with this part of the crocodile and this part of the giraffe. They seem to ask to put them this way, and as you can see, they fit perfectly. And I think this will be the point from which we will start. Let's put them here. In fact, it does not matter which side of the square we will put them on. This puzzle is for children. Child from the age of 6 will be able to solve it for sure. We'll find a place for an elephant, a place for a monkey, but the lion does not fit. But if you look here, we can combine the elephant and the monkey this way. That is, they also fit perfectly here. I think this is also one of the steps to solving. At first it seems that this giraffe can fit perfectly here, but it seems to me that there is too much free space. But we still have such an arc between the legs of the lion, so we can put the lion here, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. Also, there we can put our rhino, I think, like this. And now the elephant and the gorilla remain. And we already know how they can be combined. And here's the lion head, fits perfectly. That's it, we solved this puzzle, and it was definitely very simple. I don't know if the next one will be as easy, but let's try. The task of this puzzle, as you can see, from the starting position moving the parts up, down, left and right, is to put our criminal in jail. So here's our starting position, here it is. And we have to come to this position without lifting the parts, without turning or twisting them inside. As you can see, we have quite a lot of free space inside, and it seems that this puzzle is quite simple. But when we get to this position, it seems impossible to move all these parts. Remember that you can't twist, so we will only move them. It's also not necessary to move the parts to the very end. We can move them somehow like this. But it seems to me that it will be more convenient to move them to the very end for now. We need to leave a lot of free space inside somehow. For example, like this, to find a way to put him behind the bus. This is even more difficult than I imagined. As you can see, such puzzles with a childish task are not always very simple. Sometimes these puzzles are very difficult even for adults. Oh, I found a very compact position, and now we have a lot of free space to move our puzzle. You can write in the comments what I missed already and why it is so difficult for me to do it now. But it's better to try to solve this puzzle by yourself. This is a very tricky puzzle. There are only 5 parts and a frame, with not so usual task, but as you can see, it is probably easier to solve this puzzle by accident than to solve it by thinking. Oh, how many times have we tried and we got to the beginning again? This puzzle is really one of those that looks very simple but is impossibly difficult. I recommend you to try to solve this puzzle. You can purchase it on Etsy shop CUBASTIC 3D, link in the description below. Here's such an interesting situation. We seem to have broken a couple of elements by blocks, and a separate block is a criminal himself. That is, we can move them like this, and it seems to me that there is a secret somewhere. If you look and use spatial imagination, I understand that this one is in place. This one will easily fit into it, and in fact, you can put this piece here. Wow, how many times have I been trying to solve this puzzle and I finally managed to put him in jail. And that's our first 2 puzzles. I still don't know which one you liked more, but I'm sure that this one will conquer your hearts. For now, write the date of birth in the comments below this video, and maybe today I will use your date of birth. While the calendar is waiting for us on the stand, I want to show you the very first puzzle I made on a 3D printer. See what it looks like. This is a very old puzzle which I printed on my first printer many years ago. This is a chocolate bar. Well, now this puzzle would look at least strange, but it has such a secret. Many people think that it's quite difficult because we have 2 layers in height. We need to put a chocolate bar at the bottom and find a way to put everything in one layer above it. But some details already have 2 layers, so we have to put them down using the lower layer. And here's such a long detail which will only fit in 4 positions. 2 at the bottom and 2 on top. I think we'll leave it until the end. Now let's find a way to place the details so as to maximize the use of these 2-layer details. For example, like this. What do you say? Looks good, but where to put this one now? In fact, I know the secret of this puzzle and I will not torture you for a long time. The secret is to place this part first and not in one of the corners, but right in the center. And use this space to put 2-layer details. For example, this way. It is in my heart forever, but now the calendar is in my heart. Well, I hope you wrote your birthday and I will solve for my birthday. This is June 28th. It seems to me that Elon Musk was born on June 28th. To say truly, I'm not exactly proud of that. Now our task is to place other details. There are 8 of them of different shapes inside this frame. They can be placed anywhere in the frame, in any position and turned in any direction. This is the difficulty of the puzzle. Just imagine the variability and how much position can exist. Well, let's start with this one. So far, everything looks quite easy for us. If I'll solve it on my first attempt, I will be very surprised. And here we start to have some issues. We have only one detail left, which consists of 5 segments, and these 5 segments remain empty. So we need to look for a place to fit every detail. And this, as you can see, is very difficult. And the best thing is that there are 365 levels here, because just by moving the date or changing the month, we get a new level. Let's stop on June 28th. The most difficult parts for me are these ones. We cannot use this one in such way as to place a square detail in here, because all the square details are in the corners, and we have to use this one somewhere in the middle, and at the same time fill it with the additional segment in the center. But there are also some difficulties with such long empty spaces, because we only have one long detail. If we continue to solve, we will see that nothing will happen here, because we do not have any long detail left. See? Everything seems to be okay, but now we need to change this detail here, and this one will not fit here in any way. Although we can try to change the position of the detail one by one, in order to find the right place. And finally, we managed to find it. This is a completely solved puzzle, and now you can stand on your table and you will always know which date is it, and secondly, you will have a task for your brain every day. Let's try to solve another date. Let it be, for example, 30 of February. Let's try to solve it. Now we can use this space to combine the details in this way. But the difficulty is that now we have nothing to fit here, unless in this way. Each detail and each date is complex in its own way. Some you can solve literally from the first time, and for others you need to spend hours. But again, the most valuable thing in this puzzle is that you can solve it every day as a new puzzle. And if you want to improve your brain by solving puzzles every day and getting these priceless emotions, you can order a calendar puzzle, a criminal, animal or any other puzzle on CUBASTIC 3D Etsy shop. I have a huge experience in puzzles, solved thousands of different puzzles and chose only the most interesting among them, which you can now solve. Maybe I was wrong with this one. Maybe it can be somewhere in the middle, why not? No. I can't handle it anymore. I want to give up. Okay. Okay, looks better. Wow, finally! I solved 30 of February. This is the most useful puzzle solving I've ever done. I will know that today is this date. Order puzzles on Etsy shop CUBASTIC 3D, solve them every day and amaze yourself with your intelligence. See you in next video, subscribe to the channel.